Good morning, Casey Basic, Operations Section Chief for Alaska Incident Management Team, managing the Creek Fire. This is the daily operational briefing for November 3rd, 2020. I got some good news today too. Our acreage went down about 2,500 acres, and that's due to excluding some of these unburned areas, pockets on the fire. There's around 4 of them, so there's one there, up around Florence Lake. We got one just north of Shaver Lake and then south of Shaver Lake, and then one up here, another one up by Florence. Today, our main focus, we have 2 main focuses, and one of them is suppression repair, and the other one is the fire activity itself. So I'll start with the fire activity itself. We got a lot of natural barriers out on the fire line that we're utilizing to hamper fire spread. Up here in Saddle Mountain Pincushion, there is a little bit of activity around Pincushion. There's a lot of rocks, a lot of water, a lot of natural barriers out here that's going to keep that fire from wanting to spread to the north and to the east. We got the Lions Fire up in here, hampering fire spread activity to the north and through that. There is a little pocket of unburned fuel from the Lions Fire of 2018, and that's where we're seeing some activity that's burning up in that. But once it burns through that, there's very little fuel for it to continue to move on. There is some fire activity still in the Pond Lily area, Middle Fork of the San Joaquin River. We got a local fire module that's in Mammoth with some aviation support. They're keeping an eye on this and monitoring this. They have some hand line out in there, some check line, some contingency line in case this wants to continue to progress up that Middle Fork. They can get in there and take care of that. The second priority for us is all of this around the entire fire's edge for suppression repair. There's a lot of it going on. This is a very large fire, so there's a lot of line for them to work on. So the priority is to take care of the edge of the fire, the actual fire line. And then after that, their priority would be to start moving inward. And for that to happen, there's a lot of hazardous trees along the roadways, along the trails. And so they're going to have to clear all those out before they can move all the resources in there for firefighter and public safety to start doing suppression repair for those areas. And so that includes this whole western side of the fire, and then start moving into the east more, into the interior, coming around the bottom of the fire on this west side. This is looking really good. They got another day or so, and then they'll be wrapping up all the suppression repair down around here by Auberry. And then once this is done, resources, equipment, crews, everything that's been working down in here is going to be absorbed into some repair groups out in here that are mobile groups. And so wherever they finish up one spot, they're moved to another one and start working in there. So that's around Shaver Lake. A lot of work being done and continuing to work out in there. There's on the tip out in here by Dunkley Creek Road, just north of that. We're moving a lot of resources out in here and continuing to start to do work down in there. Around Huntington Lake, there's a lot to be done in here. So they're going to continue to augment this and add some folks into there. Another big area that they're looking at and starting to put some crews and some folks in there to do some hazard tree removal is north of Huntington Lake. On the map here, it's DP 31 heading towards Mammoth Pool Reservoir into the interior of the fire. And so falling some hazard trees and making this secure and safe for folks to get in and start moving that way. All the crews, the branches, the groups are all working very closely together, moving parts and pieces around. We're also preparing for a weather event with some winds. It's also going to bring some lower temperatures and some potential for precipitation. But with that as an uptick in winds, so we're preparing for that. And with that, have a great day, and thank you.